You're listening to the Bring the Thunder podcast, a podcast by fans for fans.
Yes, you are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bring the Thunder podcast. I am here with Jack at the Thunder Coverage and Sapphire at Thunder Talk YT on all socials. Go give them a follow. Obviously, I'm your host tonight, Joe DeBlasio. Thunder take this one in Toronto, 116-107, and for my opinion, not to you guys because you guys nailed it. This was a stunner. I thought OKC didn't have much of a chance in this one. Boy, was I wrong. A quick box score read to tell you why I was wrong. Cason Wallace goes absolutely insane. 27, 8, and 7 on the road, 4 or 5 from deep, adds a steal. Isaiah Joe, 22 points all in the second half, goes 0 in the first half. I think he ends up with 18 or 19 in the third quarter, and then 22 to finish the game off. 6 of 11 from deep, 7 of 14 from the field. Continues his high volume, high efficiency streak here. Lou Dort adds 15, 5, and 3 back in Canada. Caruso off the bench, 16 and a plus 22. Absolutely massive to get Caruso back tonight. And then we wrap up with Isaiah Hartenstein, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. Chet had 3 blocks, not a really great game offensively for him. For the Raptors, it was a lot of RJ Barrett, made 4 threes, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Quickly 17, Barnes 15 and 7. Played well defensively, but not much of a factor. And Ingram got clamped like normal by Dort, 15 points. Fellas, first off, how you doing? Second off, amazing win for OKC to just get this one because we know we have a back-to-back tomorrow against the Pistons. Didn't look like Shea or AJ travel with the team, so it doesn't look like they'll be playing tomorrow. Hopefully we get them back Friday or Saturday for Denver. But just a massive win. Can one of you just start it by talking about Cason Wallace and Isaiah Joe, man? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Isaiah Joe was over for his hot streak. I was chatting in the chat saying, oh, it was nice whilst it lasted. And then third quarter rolled around and blink of an eye, he's on 18 points. That's just insanity. 6 for 11 from 3 is just insane. 22 points. It's more than we could ever ask for from Isaiah Joe. And I'm just so interested to see what happens when Shea comes back and how his form continues, which hopefully it will. I think Cason Wallace ties his career high of 27 points. I think he's been really underrated recently. Like everyone has been talking about Isaiah Joe being on a heater, but Cason Wallace has been on something else recently. I mean, 27 points for Cason Wallace, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, nearly a Luka Doncic triple-double without the free throws. Like, come on now. It's next level, and this depth is something else. So I'm speechless. So I'm gonna throw it over to Savia here.
What up, Bengals?
Yeah, we got 22 points from Joe in just the second half. I mean, and that's super impressive. These guys are, I don't know, it's just kind of mind-boggling, kind of the direction we're heading in. From I predicted it, but maybe not in this way. From after All-Star break, I'd said like we'd probably get healthy, start mowing through teams, getting a win streak going, that type of thing. But I didn't expect it to come through kind of the bench unit in this manner. Like this is more of a dominant fashion versus I thought it'd be a little bit more sneaky. We'd have some healthy starters come in at some point and then start this run. But I'm glad we're starting it pretty early. I mean, man, this was impressive. This was a crazy game. We went on a 9-0 run. Then the Raptors took momentum, and I felt like they outscored us in the start of the fourth quarter, 21-3. And then we go up 25. We were down early in the game as well by 10. And then we were up like 110-101 at one point. And we were even tied at 101 apiece at this game. Like there were just so many topsy-turvy turns throughout this whole game. And the fact that we could pull out the win with pretty much 2 minutes to go, and it shows something that we have versus bagging on the Rockets here, but they have one of the worst clutch statistics in the league currently. And maybe that has something to do with Kevin Durant being on the team as the sole go-to guy. And that's not just me even bagging on the guy. I mean, that's just what the truth is. The stats kind of point towards that. And we're kind of doing the opposite with more of a friendship style, winning the game through, just having a bunch of guys on the roster that can kind of take it away. And The one guy I want to highlight in this one was Alex Caruso. I don't think his names came up yet, and he brought a lot of energy. Every time he had the ball was getting swung around pretty well, and that's kind of what I expected when he would return and start getting us, back to 20-ish minutes. And tonight, 16 points, but 22 on the plus minus. I believe he had the highest plus minus. He continues that streak of being our best plus minus guy off the bench. And now I'm thinking like there's just so many players. Someone's gonna have to take a back seat, and yeah,
I mean,
it's getting crazy.
Well,
if there's anything that shows it, and we'll get to this a little bit later as well, but it's Aaron Wiggins. He played 17 minutes tonight. Took a back seat in a game where we didn't even have most of our guys, our ball handlers. So that's unfortunate for Wiggins. But back to what you started with, Xavier, which is really cool. It was a game of runs. Let me tell you, the first quarter, Toronto came out hot from deep. They end up finishing the quarter up by 7, but I think they stretched it out to 10 at one point. Then OKC in the second quarter storms all the way back, 35-19 in the second quarter. OKC adds a +9 in the third as well, and they're up by 25, like you said. And then again, like you said, Toronto comes storming back, ties it up at 101, go on a 21-3 run, like you said. And then let's break this down for a second, because this is where I was like, wow, okay, this was really, they've been outstanding, but Cason Wallace checks back into the game. I think Toronto scores. Cason Wallace gets a layup. Cason Wallace gets a steal. Cason Wallace gets a layup. Cason Wallace gets a steal. Isaiah Joe hits a 3, game over. That was it. That's how the game finished tonight. That's what you said. Went up to 110, 101. That's exactly what happened. And it was awesome to watch. He came in and immediately good night. It was fun. Toronto, you really came back, and it was strong, and it was fun. But it was over once he came back in the game. And just throwing him out there, Jack, is like, yeah, he had 27 points. Amazing. 8 rebounds, even better. But the playmaking this kid has shown, the game against Cleveland, the game against Houston, this one, the 7 threes in Denver, you were talking about it. You want him in the starting lineup. We know it's hard to replace the starters right now, but what he's showing is, holy shit, we need to extend them like right now before anyone else has the chance.
Yeah.
And
I think I mentioned
the main.
Go ahead, Jack. All right, I was going to say real quick. We did it again. I'll go ahead and take over. So I like his point guard play, and I think I mentioned that when I talked about him, entering the starting lineup. And the reason I kind of interjected both times there, Jack, pretty much Joe sparked my mind on the fact that the reason I wanted him to start is he's so protective of the basketball. It's rare to find guys that are able to do that. That's one of the slights that I had against guys like AJ, even a Jared McCain. They may not be at the same level as a Kentucky guard, where I've seen him, throughout college be really solid on the ball from a ball handling perspective. And you're seeing it start to expand in terms of his bag. And obviously I saw that coming as well, but more from the side of assists and, not turning over the basketball. And that kind of fits the prototype of what we have around Shea. So if you can have SGA and him on the court at the same time, with the lack of turnovers and them creating a lot of turnovers amongst themselves, I mean, that's where the game really opens up. And like y'all saw tonight, it can turn pretty much in an instant. And I'm excited to have more defensive aces out there with like SGA, J-Dub. Those guys are like pretty lengthy, and they can really get a lot of steals. And so I'm excited about that. What were you going to say, Jack?
I think, well, what I was going to say was about Cason Wallace. He's always been a premium defender. We've been waiting for the offensive lead. It happened. He's been on one for like a month now, like pretty consistent. And then tonight showed that he's also clutch. Like he took the ball in the clutch and like confidently made the right decisions. Because when that comeback was happening and it was all tied up, I was kind of thinking to myself, this is when you need an AJ, Shea, J-Dub, someone who will step up and, take control and has that clutch gene. And kind of looked on the floor. I was like, I don't really see anyone there who I think is going to do it. And then Cason Wallace, just like Austin, he shut me up because, I mean, him being clutch is something else as well, because like being able to do all of that in the first, second quarter is all good, having a career high first half. But when you can do it when it matters most and shut out the game like he did, that's like the next level up from, I mean, he's just progressed. Like he's just evolving exponentially at the moment, and it's scary hours for when Shea comes back.
And it's really good to see that we did this on the road as well, because we know that OKC is outstanding at home. They were excellent at home last year in the playoffs. Kind of saw the drop off on the road, especially with our role players. Well, now OKC's role players, because that's who we brought to Toronto, right? We brought a bunch of role players and Chet Hartenstein. They shoot 40% from three, so 51 against the Cavs, 40 today against Toronto. And 47% from the field overall. This is just building confidence for when those guys get back, the SGAs, the J-Dubs, the AJ Mitchells. These guys are still going to be ready, locked and loaded. He even had a Jared McCain bad game today. 5 points, 4 rebounds. I think he made some really good plays late in the game as well. Early fourth, late third. But didn't make a three tonight. And we still shot 40% thanks to Isaiah Joe, thanks to even Lou made his shots. Cason Wallace made his shots. Caruso in the first half looked like he couldn't miss a shot. Outstanding win for OKC tonight. And yeah, you really got to highlight Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, and Alex Caruso. We know what Alex Caruso is. We've seen him do it. 2-time NBA champion, a +7 differential on defense rating when he's on the floor versus when he's off. So having him back tonight, obviously huge. Another point I wanted to make, because we're talking offense. Toronto was held to 107 at home. 107's, fair, especially when you have a bunch of your guys out. Lou holds Ingram to 15. His line goes under. Scotty Barnes, 7 of 17, 15 points. I mean, very good on the defensive side tonight, but not, a crazy factor on offense today. Even, guys like, I don't even know how to say the backup big's name, Sandro, who kind of gave us problems in the first game we played. Yeah, Mamu. I will call him Mamu, right? 3 points on 1 of 7, like not a factor at all. So the guys in the paint absolutely dominated as well. Great win. 9 rebounds apiece for Holmgren and Hartenstein tonight, and a combined 5 blocks. So, and a steal each. So, I mean, you can't complain about anything tonight.
Yeah, I want to jump in here and mention about Chet Holmgren. He played through back spasms tonight. He didn't necessarily need to, and he's one of those guys that just hate, getting off the court. So I'm glad he kind of toughed it out, and we kind of needed him for this type of game. And I actually don't mind the offensive game that he had tonight. I think you mentioned that it was kind of slowed down. He only took 8 shots and made 7 points. I feel like that's pretty solid. But the main thing he was out there for was the 9 rebounds, and he was, obviously not the same level of defense, but still having him out there is, helpful nonetheless. And he played 30 minutes on a night where he could have easily taken a night off, when the previous night he had 15 rebounds and a solid outing on offense. So I'm not too worried about Chet long-term. Like, he just knows what his role is, and he kind of plays it every single night to pretty much a T. Like, this is kind of what I was expecting him to become. And if he can do this for the rest of his career, I mean, it's going to be a tremendous career for him. I think multiple All-Stars. He'll have some DPOYs in there. And I think that's a level of consistency other players, cough, like Wemby should be, striving for. It's not just about having the highlights every single night. It's about going out there when you can't, making the impact plays every single night and playing through it. And that's just something Chet Holmgren does. So I'll let you guys take over. I'm having a little bit of a fit there.
Oh, absolutely a winning player. Jack, I see you.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the 3-point percent, because Toronto actually outscored us on the 3-point. They had 18 made threes, 47%. We had 16 on 40%. But like we've been saying all year, this OKC team shoots 35% for 3. They're winning a game. And it's just stayed true. Every game, like, especially these ones without the main guys, when we've shot this good. I mean, 40+% for the OKC Thunder is a whole new world, and it's not competitive at all, as we can see by this 9-point win without Shea, J-Dub, AJ, and although I don't want to bang on too much about injuries and what if we're healthy, because I feel like that's been the talk for the last 3 weeks. So
the answer to this question, Bengals, I believe, is 6 games after he returns. So if he plays against the Nuggets on Friday, he would be getting it against what, the Nuggets on March 9th or the Warriors on March 7th? One of those. That's so 6 games. But yeah, I mean, we already touched it all. So, I mean, we're about 17 minutes in. So let's get to it anyway here. everyone's favorite segment of the night. You know what it is. Let's roll it.
What the is Jack wearing?
If you guys are new to the channel, Jack wears a Thunder jersey on every podcast, or post-game live, I should say. Drop your guesses in the comments of who you think is on the back of his jersey today. Obviously, members and people who are recurring subscribers, you know what to do. Drop your guesses. Satvier, you know I'm coming to you first. Might as well put you on the spot here.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. A Thunder City Edition jersey. I don't even know what City Editions he has. I wish I knew. But I'm gonna go with Kenrich Williams. Random throw out there because I feel like Jack's sometimes just random with it.
See, I'm a bit of an idiot because he wore a City jersey the other night, and I believe I got it right, but I can't even remember who it was. So I'm shooting in the dark here. For me, I'm not going Kenny. I'm not going Isaiah Joe because I don't know if he has an Isaiah Joe jersey yet. But there is one thing. It's got to be Cason after tonight's game. It just has to be. And I believe if Jack did have a Cason Wallace jersey, it would be that one right there. So I'm going with Cason Wallace.
I must say, it's getting harder to keep a poker face with your guys' explanations. You guys really think about this, but I can reveal that a total of 3 people have it right tonight. And Joe, you are one of them. Cason Wallace.
Let's fucking go. Excuse my language.
Shout out, Unc. Shout out the dog mother of 2. Got it right. Yeah, and I believe Leone.
Oh, yeah, I think Leone as well there. All right, so I'm on a roll here. I think I'm 3 for the last 3. Also want to shout out myself. Pre-game show, if you guys got to tune in, I mean, Lock of the Night has just been on fire recently, so we are fully back with the Locks of the Night. Even gave out 2 on Sunday, and both of them hit. But back to the game tonight. Obviously, again, 116-107. Jack, I asked you a question before, and we kind of got sidetracked. Obviously, we know the lineup's not going to change, right? Unless we're in a playoff series that it has to, where we take out a big, which is possible. But right now, it's not going to. You got Shea, Dub, Dort, and the 2 bigs, Chet and Hartenstein. But Cason Wallace, man, where does he fit when they all get back?
I mean, coming off the bench is fine. I've always said that I don't really care who starts. I care who finishes the game, and that matters on game to game, which this team, a lot of players are very game to game. We have so many pieces that we can put in different places. So I don't know. Wiggins goes for 4 threes. He ends the game. He'll be ending the game. Isaiah Joe heats up in the third quarter. He'll be ending the game. And I do think that Lou Dort 2-guard spot is the one that'll be moved the most. You can start Dort, but if he's having a game like he did today with a fully healthy team, he's not going to be seeing the clutch minutes because we need, and we'll have better options. And you just got to roll with that. But the other point I wanted to make was there's no worries in being too deep. We saw Mark play 10 players in the first quarter, or maybe even 11. And I know we have a back-to-back tomorrow, but he's not afraid to play. And if you're going to go out there and hoop, then I believe you should get more minutes. And I don't think it should be set in stone, the rotation. I think it should be game to game, and whoever's hot, ride the hot hand. And because we see this with our players all the time. Like Wiggins is having a bit of a down stretch right now, whilst Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace are having an up stretch. Earlier in the season, Dort was on a stretch. Isaiah Joe was not on a stretch for a bit. So it just depends, really. And yeah, I don't want to commit to a certain lineup or a certain 8 players yet.
Would like to say this was a massive win for OKC. As we saw last night, the Spurs went in and dominated the Pistons pretty easy. The Spurs get to play Toronto tomorrow. So both of the teams in this game tonight play tomorrow. We get the Pistons, they get Toronto. So just getting a win, getting them back to 3 games instead of 2.5, which could have been 2 if we lost. We're in a pretty good spot, especially if we're 2+, 3+ games up if SGA is coming back on Friday. So outstanding spot to be in OKC. If you're OKC, during the episode last night, we talked about it. we started 5 games ahead when SGA went down, and we're still 3 games ahead. And we had no AJ and J-Dub through the mix as well. So they're doing a fantastic job, and it's really thanks to Cason, Isaiah Joe, Caruso when he's there, Chet Hartenstein, all the guys, really. So that being said, I do want to look forward a little bit to tomorrow's game, which is going to be really tough. The Pistons just got slapped in the face by a good Western Conference team. They kind of showed them there's still levels. Pistons are outstanding, but you're not in the Western Conference, right? They're going to want that one. They're going to want that one at home. They're going to be favored with all of our guys out. That's a fact. So that's a game they should win, and it's going to be on – the pressure's going to be on them. The question isn't going to be like, what is your expectations? The question is, how is OKC going to go in there and get another win like they did tonight?
That's a tough,
Do you want to go
tough
Xavier,
question.
Yeah.
I'll go first, I guess. And before we kind of transition to this game, I had one last point. I think Bengals up there had mentioned if McCain had played, and he did play 10 minutes. And the thing I wanted to mention about that is it's crazy that in a game like this where we're missing, 3 other guards essentially, that McCain only plays 10 minutes on pretty much what he's been on a heater. And we just broke down in the members only how valuable he's been on the defensive and offensive end. So just kind of a quick.
I think that was a fair 10 minutes. The Raptors are a big, long defensive team. We didn't need the offense tonight. We were getting enough. We rolled with the defense.
Yeah, totally fair, but I still believe that it's crazy to me that he only got 10 minutes. But moving towards this game here, I think it's going to be a tough outing for us to go in and win a game like this. If anything, I think we're just going to have to rely more on offense. This is where we're going to have McCain, Joe, possibly more Wiggins minutes. I think Jack mentioned this in the recording. We're going to need our offense to kind of beat our defense in this case, because I don't think defensively it's going to be an issue, facing those guys. So what are your thoughts, Jack?
Jack, can you hear us? Thanks. Jack's audio came out, but I will take over there. Hey, Bengals, we love the Indiana Pacers on this podcast. We respect them, I should more say. Indy Sports Fan, one of our best members out there. I think he was one of our first members, so give the guy some respect. But with that being said, to answer my own question, Xavier, I think you're absolutely right. We're going to need offense. We're going to need offense in bunches.
Look at that.
We're going to have to rely on –
He read my mind here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. We're going to need Isaiah Joe. We're going to need McCain. We're going to need Cason to score. We're just going to need everybody to score. Detroit isn't exceptional on the offensive side of the ball. They're really good on defense. So if we bring our defense, and we're able to make shots, that's how they're going to win. It's just going to come down to shots. We know this year OKC hasn't been great in back-to-backs. We know tomorrow we're not getting anybody back because the two of AJ and Shea did not travel tonight to Toronto. So assuming that's the case, it's going to be really tough. But, OKC's really deep, really talented. They play really hard. It's a winnable game. It's going to come down to making shots or not tomorrow. Jack, you are back. Your turn.
I'm back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. But in terms of this Pistons game, we've taken down the 5th seed tonight, the 4th seed the other night in the East, and we've been insane. This is a whole new team, whole new level. If Chet Holmgren steps up, plays what we pay, has a 20, 30-point game, we're winning this game. I think Unk said it earlier that he likes the odds, and Hartenstein can match because this is going to be a physical game. He can match the physicality to Jalen Duren. I like Chet on whoever they have.
I like Tobias.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have the guard depth to run and put Cade Cunningham through hell. He was put through hell against the Spurs. And
there's a question by Leone right there.
Cason, Caruso, Dort. We have bodies to throw at him.
I'd probably say Dort gets the primary look on him as per usual.
Yeah, the usual. And then
Dort struggles with the bigger guys though, so Cade's gonna be a handful.
We'll see. Stephon Castle had his way with Cade. I think Lou will do just fine.
Mhm.
Okay, so-
Yeah, and I think this is a very winnable game, and maybe the Pistons come in a bit like complacent and think that they're going to win, and we just come in and shock them. Like if you have Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Jared McCain, and Aaron Wiggins all on from 3, and then you have Chet playing like an all-star, it's wraps. Like they're not winning the game. So
seeing a comment here that I just want to touch on for 2 seconds and no longer than that. Most blocks in a Game 7 NBA Finals ever and a champion. Okay. Sapir, do you have a segment prepared tonight?
I'm going to be honest. No, I do not. I have no
Let's
idea
go.
in terms of stats for this one. There wasn't anything that really stood out to me. I guess just we don't have to go into the segment, but the one thing I did notice when I was doing the game chart comparison for both teams, I noticed that we beat the heck out of this Raptors team on the rebounding end. And you mentioned, how much length and strength that they have on the other end. And honestly, I didn't expect for us to kind of hold our own the way we have. And shout out to Austin Roberts here, 1 month member. Let's go. We're starting to get amazing member shout outs here. And I can't wait for this to be like a 12-month member. And then we can start shouting out everyone. That'll be so dope. But thanks for joining with us for a month here. And it looks like he mentioned, I thought Shea is at 115 games with the 20 or more points, and the record is 126. Or does he have more than that when he will be back Friday, probably? So I believe he is at 115, but I don't think the record's at 126. I think it's at like 120. So he's a little bit closer to the record.
I could have been wrong, but what I'm remembering is watching the Orlando broadcast, they mentioned that he would be getting it done against Brooklyn. And that's 6 games, but that was the game he got hurt. So
yeah, he's 6 games away. I know that for sure because I've been tracking on that. So 5 games to tie, 6 games to pretty much beat that record. And I'm not too concerned when SGA is on the floor. He's going to score 20 regardless. But that's a good question by Unk there. What do you guys think the spread's going to be?
The spread right now is already at 5.5. We'll see where it closes at. I'm sure we'll get more clarity on if Chet's playing in a back-to-back tomorrow, maybe Caruso, because Caruso played hefty minutes. But all right, I'll just say, like, as it stands, if we bring the same team that we brought in tonight into tomorrow's game, I think 5.5 is fine. The Pistons are a powerhouse in the East. I know the Spurs just beat them up, but like the Spurs were fully healthy. We still aren't. I know we're playing outstanding, but I mean, respectable 5.5. I think that's fair.
I'll say something about the spread. What I've noticed is odds makers don't really care who we're facing because we're just such a good team. They usually tend to favor us a little bit more than what I'd even think. And I think this spread's going to get closer to like 4.5, 3.5 as the day kind of goes on. So just if you're betting in that sense, be aware.
Yeah, or it might increase in favor of the Pistons, depending if Chet's out or.
All right, we're about 30 in. Last thing I wanted to do really quickly here was put everybody on the spot. I'm going to put Satvir on the spot. I'm going to put Jack on the spot. And I'm going to put you guys in the chat on the spot. I want a 1-word answer, yes or no. Just for fun here, okay? Just for fun. Starting with you, Jack.
Yeah.
Would you replace Lou Dort for Cason Wallace in the starting lineup?
No.
Xavier?
Yes. It's been long enough sample size. I can only defend a person for so long, and man, I love Lou Dort. But Cason, he's the truth. 22 years old, best wing defender out there, and yeah, and he's developing on offense. So
that's got to be more than 1 word.
I don't care.
We got a bunch of those. We got yes for Satvir. We got a bunch of depends. Leone's always the matchup based, and she's right. She's right. It is matchup based. I just like bringing in a little bit of drama. Yeah, I mean,
what does Dort bring off the bench?
Right. That's the point. Like,
Right.
if he goes to the
I'd
bench,
rather
he's
have
not bringing
Cason
any
come to the
value.
bench than Dort. Yeah. Dort can blend in with our starters better than he can blend in with our bench. But Cason's like the main guy on the bench. And like I said, Cason should be ending the games. But
Sebastian could be wrong here, but I believe it'll be against Denver, not tomorrow. I didn't see him there tonight, and that would only make sense for him not to be there tomorrow. Yeah, Leone, I'm just trying to get everyone in trouble tonight. But with that being said, gentlemen, outstanding game tonight. Again, OKC 116 to 107 in Toronto, a game where I thought they didn't have it, but I will shout out to Jack, Sapir, and Gabe. They all, for prop wars, took OKC plus 1.5. I went with Toronto. So, but I did have a very good night. Very good night. But with that being said, you guys have anything else before we hop out of here?
No, man.
Nothing.
I'm excited for the matchup here. I'm excited to see one thing, how we limit the shooters against the Pistons. They have Duncan Robinson over there, Herter. And if we can kind of keep control of the shooters, I think we have an opportunity to take this. And we have a lot of defense. So I think it would be a nice little shoot off. So excited for it.
One last answer here. Yeah, Bengals, he made his threes early. That was really it. He made like 4 threes tonight. That's what happens. This is absolutely correct. I like to say prime Reggie Miller, but yeah, that works too. Unc, we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll see you guys all tomorrow for the pregame and the postgame show. I'm just going to bring up Austin, shout out to Austin. He's been a member. He's now a member for a month. If you guys aren't a member, go over to the YouTube channel right now and get yourself a membership. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. We provide the most members-only content, the best members-only content, and much more. You guys can hop on the show. Austin's hopping on the show soon. You can hop on episodes, behind the scenes, come meet us, talk to us, whatever. With that being said, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, get a membership, turn post notifications on, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the pregame and then postgame live. Come stop by, say something nice, and thunder up, baby. Let's go.